Hey, true conceivers, welcome to the Heroic Origins podcast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Terrence, and we're just two comic book nerds doing what we love to do.
Make
Make up
up new
new
superhero.
superheroes. We're going to take some random words, some pictures, and maybe a phrase or two, and
Then riff off of them until we come up with a fully fleshed out superhero. We've given ourselves a time limit, one 40-minute regulation brainstorming period.
if we still haven't finished our hero by then, we'll move to a lightning round with 2 additional minutes per character, element, and one 5-minute revision period.
Now get ready, because it's collaborating time. All right, let's pull up our outline. Wah. Okay, so we're going to get ourselves a random word, a
Well,
random.
do we need to explain a little bit about what we're doing today based on where we've been?
Oh yes, well we've been for those of you that have been very devoted and following along from week to week, which is frankly more consistent than what we what we do because
Don't
it's
tell
been
them
several
that.
weeks since we recorded the last episode. But we're putting together an elemental task force that is led by the mysterious Greta, and it is formed. It is sort of related to, but in contrast to, the United Nations. There's kind of a United Nations liaisons to
To the
or UN Department of Hidden Societies.
hidden
That's what it's called.
societies. I was about to say secret societies, but hidden societies.
Secret societies are completely different.
Yeah, completely different.
Yeah,
That's
that's
that
like
could be
that's
next
like
thing.
some
Ooh,
conspiracy stuff.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
we've got Earth. We started off with Earth, then we did water, and then last week we did air, and so this week we are on fire.
fire. That's right.
Fire,
We did have.
fire.
We had, just a review real quick. We had a character named the Under Uncle. He's part of a species of mole people, and is the ambassador to the mole people, or the ambassador from the mole people to the UN. Then we have someone from the
Water.
water
Representing the ocean is sea glass.
sea glass, or named Appa, and it's part of a kind of a race of ocean human hybrids,
Mm.
and they were created. I'm sorry, they were abducted by the ocean centuries ago.
So,
Well, no, wait, you tell it, Terrence.
well, they're created by the ocean to represent the ocean after they've been abducted in the past. Like that's when they started the cloning process.
Well, except they're kind of clones, right? So they're like,
Yeah.
or they're offspring. What
They're
they did is, there was once humans that were
Yes.
sailors that
Right.
fell in love with the ocean, and then they were turned into ocean beings, or they had sex with these humans to create these hybrid creatures that also have a love affair with the ocean, and they represent the water beings. And then we have.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, then we have Zeph, the what are they? Dandelion aliens, basically.
Basically,
They
yeah,
live in the
that's right.
clouds, and they've seeded the clouds, and they. I'm
They're basically living colds. They
yeah.
go or living allergies. They go around, they possess you for 7 to 10 days. And during that time, they can inspire you. It's not quite mind control, but they can inspire you to do things that help them escape the planet, which may
Yeah.
involve destroying the planet.
Yeah, they want to continue to spread. So.
Yes, yes. They don't care about destroying the planet. They just want to get the hell off of it and
Yeah.
spread their sneeziness all over the place. So that's what we've got so far.
Well, that's not Zeph though. The actual that one actually likes the
Oh
planet.
yeah, Zeph actually loves the sounds of Earth,
Yes.
and yeah. So yeah, you've got all these. No, whereas the mole person, the Under Uncle, actually hates Earthlings, or not Earthlings, humans, hates humans,
Humans.
but loves the planet. Whereas, yeah. Anyway, and then I think Yeah, the water person just loves the ocean.
Yeah, is a bit agnostic about humans and
Yeah.
really cares about the ocean, keeping that clean. So,
All right, but we're going to come up with a fire elemental today
but now
to
we
be
get to
part of
fire.
Greta's elemental clandestine task force. So we still haven't. At some point, we're going to have to sit down and come and figure out exactly how that's structured
Yeah, yeah.
and what
Well, I
the
mean, I think
proper
that comes.
acronym is.
Are we gonna do a plot cast? I guess once we have all of our characters, just to
I'm game if you are.
yeah. I mean, that just seems like what we should do is come up with a little
Yeah,
story for them all to run through, and,
yeah, sure, makes sense to me.
and then we'll have a name and we'll have purpose. And,
All right, well let's go look at before we hit the clock. Let's go look at the weird words here. So I've already randomly picked 5 words for us to choose from.
uh,
First one is isotherumbros.
I'm
Line
predicting
connecting points of equal ratio or summer rainfall to annual rainfall. Interesting.
untimeous, untimely.
Untimeous. Okay.
That just
So
sounds
if you want to say if you want to say a normal word in a more pretentious way, planetography, description or treatise on the planets.
Venocyte, venoclysis, introduction of liquid into the body by an intravenous drip.
Ooh. Fortalice or fortalis, perhaps. A fortress, small outwork of a fortification. Is there anything here that lends? Do we want more? Do we want 5 more? Because I don't hear.
I think we want
see any
more.
fire stuff here.
Yeah, those actually, a couple of those would have been good for water, I think. But
Yeah, yeah. Planetography would be good for like ether or something. But
yeah,
okay, let's try 5 more. Okay, anthropomancy, divination using
oh,
human entrails. Yes.
I didn't know there was a word for that. That's
Well,
kind of
apparently
horrifying.
there is.
Oh, witherling, withered or decrepit person, an adversary.
Oh, okay, I like that. Radicivorous, eating roots.
Sweet, dried sheep perspiration.
All right. And porno lanya, I think is maybe how it's pronounced. Desire for prostitutes.
Um,
I don't know. Well, okay, I could see we could do something with sausage with the first one, and that involves cooking.
oh, 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 that's horrifying.
That would be pretty horrifying. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, all right. Do you want to do one? Do you want to do one more? But if we
Okay,
do
one more, and then we got to pick one.
we got to
Although
pick
the
one in
dried
there,
sheep
even if it's like,
perspiration, that's heat.
what is it? I'm sorry.
The dried sheep perspiration is heat. That's my only. That was my only.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
But
don't know. What do you think? What, 5 more?
that's just such a bizarre thing. I can't even start on I didn't know sheep perspired. like
Well,
I
now
guess
you
I
know.
never seen a sheep pant, so maybe I
Well,
should.
maybe they wouldn't perspire so much if they didn't have those heavy coats.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want? You want to go with
I'd say
something?
we go one more round, and we got to pick one then.
Okay, all right. Peccary, tropical New World pig-like mammal.
Lepid, pleasant, charming, and amusing.
Odalisque, female slave in a harem.
Judicature, power of dispensing justice by trial.
Sideroscope, instrument using magnets to detect presence of iron. Okay, I think we got maybe something here.
Yeah,
So, um, I mean, a
I
tropical New World pig-like mammal. That's tropical areas
yeah.
are hot.
Well, I think okay because we earlier were saying that air used fire. You could run with the slave aspect of there may be emancipated fire
Oh,
slaves.
that's right because the seed beings they're basically created by fire, by forest fires and things.
Yeah, yeah. So
So it could be the Odalisque thing
yeah, maybe they're emancipated slaves and
that are very
something.
lepid. They're pleasant, charming,
Yeah,
and
and they're
amusing.
very pleasant. and and they dispense justice. I don't know.
Okay. Do we
I,
want
I
to
feel
look?
like that the trial by fire was what I thought of when I read the judicature.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, which one do you want to go with? Or do we want to go with multiples?
We can go with multiples because we have gotten no words that are really perfect. So I'd go with the odalisque and the judicature, and if you want to throw the peccary in there, and they can be from the tropical
I
area.
actually don't like the peccary one that much.
Okay.
Though the iron, I'm just thinking about the detective presence of iron. I like iron is like when you're doing iron working. There's a lot of fire involved there. But let's go with odalisque and judicature.
Okay.
So, okay. So two random words.
So I guess now that it's a woman, it's a female fire being that would.
I suppose it is. I suppose it is.
Hey, well, it's I don't know when this episode is going to air, but March.
Well, yeah. When am I going to edit the first episode? That's the real question.
Oh yeah. So
I am so ridiculously. I have been not productive.
but they're live streamed, so anybody could follow along as they happen. So.
Well, that's true. We might. I don't know that we have any fans. Actually, you should filter onto the comment thing or whatever. See if we've got viewers right now.
Uh, duh, 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 duh. Where's the-
All right. No, nobody.
No.
Okay. Do you want to do a random fact or a random headline?
Uh, let's go with the random fact.
Okay.
That really worked out, I think, for the water one. That
I
was,
think you're right.
or was that a random headline?
I don't remember. We clearly we're not so committed to the random part that that we have to stick with whatever it is.
Well, I mean, because we have a targeted character, which normally
I don't. Yeah, that sounds like cover to me. I think we would ignore
Well,
it.
no, we've been better about it when we didn't have, like we didn't have an element in mind.
That's
like,
true. That does give us a little bit of an excuse. Okay, McDonald's once made bubblegum flavored broccoli.
Huh.
Sounds disgusting.
1 out of 200 men is a direct descendant of Genghis Khan.
Yeah. A Georgia teacher who bought a $400 travel insurance policy was rewarded $10,000 because she read the fine print of the contract.
Orcas are a natural predator to moose.
Okay. Australia exports camels to the Middle East.
Uh,
Well, I don't know. The camels, again, camels are, those are, hot creatures.
Hot.
I mean, it could be, well, because what if our slave rides a camel?
we did. It is something to do with a harem, right? So that was a.
Okay. So let's stack up the stereotypes.
Yeah, like, are we going?
Well, do you want to go with that? I say we go with Australia exports camels.
Okay.
Because they're Australian camels, so it's not as.
Well, the outback is really hot too.
Well, yeah, it is absolutely. It's probably hotter. Okay, and a random image.
Although we could have just gone with Genghis Khan and then just like, yeah, related to Genghis Khan. That's easy. That's like everybody.
Well, was Genghis Khan a fire creature?
No, but he got around.
Okay, we got the bottom of cashew,
Googly eyes on a
a water
bucket thing.
plant. What do you call those?
I don't know,
Water
a
can.
watering
Water bucket. No.
Yeah,
It's a. Oh, geez.
Yeah, we know what it is.
We know what it is. The audience knows what we're talking about. It's when you're watering plants, you use this. There's a lighthouse. Look, that looks like AI.
Yeah, it
Well,
looks
this
like,
next one's definitely AI. It's
that's really an interesting picture, though.
a person with an egg, a cracked egg for a
Cracked
stomach.
egg, pregnant belly. That's
And then we got somebody skydiving upside down.
But it's like the Earth above and below them.
Yeah. I don't like any of these.
No,
Five
that's
more.
terrible.
Okay, we got is that a fly? I don't know, some sort of insect.
Yeah, some sort of bug.
Close up. We got a hammer and
A bunch
nails.
of bent nails.
Somebody who's been very unsuccessful at hammering nails, basically. They're not going through. Britain, US. It looks like a water tower
Yeah,
that's on
that's
its edge, on the edge. And then, geez, what's this? This is
ugh.
looks like a bride in a
Yeah,
really dilapidated room.
yeah.
Uh, oh, and then we've got sand sculptures.
That's what's his name? Willy Wonka.
It's Willy Wonka. It's a Willy Wonka. Actually, I like this one.
Really? I
Well,
was
I
gonna
think
say
there's
there's a woman in the other one, and we.
well, okay, but I'm
So,
just saying Willy Wonka was a slave driver, right? With the Oompa Loompas.
that is true. That is
So,
true.
and it's in the sand, which is
That's
like
the
the
sand, which is the
outback.
desert.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the desert. So I think there's stuff to work with there. There's
Okay,
also
let's
some
go.
other sculptures in the background.
I think that I don't know. My take on it, looking at it from here, just looks like candy,
It might
or are
be.
those, or are those pumpkins? Maybe I don't know.
You may be right that it's candy, but I don't know. I like this one. What do you? I mean, do
All
you
right,
want
go with it. Yeah, yeah.
to? Okay, copy image.
Did you ever see the new Willy Wonka movie with Timothy Chalamet?
No, did you?
No, I was just curious.
I mean, I like Timothy Chalamet, but that just doesn't the previews of it. He just didn't seem he didn't seem flamboyant enough. I mean, it's part of it's just the Gene. Oh God, what's his last name? The guy that,
Wildman?
yeah, Gene Wilder.
Wilder.
Gene Wilder was just such a eccentric character
Oh
actor.
yeah, he did. Yeah, I
and
don't.
and Timothy Chalamet he's a leading man in a way that there's
Yeah,
nothing. He's probably too pretty, and he's probably his voice is not unusual at all. So
yeah. I
I
mean, I
didn't want
think
to see it. I just didn't buy that he was Willy Wonka.
right. No, I mean, yeah, the concept that it's somebody like Johnny Depp, I thought would have been better. Like, well, that movie
Well,
was
he
odd. It was that just because it's somebody who's unpredictable. Really, that's what I was going to say. It's like an actor who you don't know what you're going to get when you see their movie.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, but they were trying to do young Willy Wonka. So really, what you wanted was, because this is the thing,
Oh,
Timothy Chalamet is a really
I,
good actor, but he's not like Gary Oldman or something. He's not somebody who puts on a lot of different, like wildly different faces.
yeah,
He's always kind of he's Timothy Chalamet, just more intense. Or
yeah.
with a different subtext. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of who are the great young character actors right now.
I'm at a loss because I don't know that many actors.
Yeah, me too.
But I was just thinking, if that was the young Willy Wonka, it would have been really fun to see like a grown up Willy Wonka be like Adam Driver. That transition there.
Hey, according to this, we got two people listening here or watching. So we should get back to the. Well, I don't know. Maybe they like to listen. Hey, if you're enjoying our discussion of Willy Wonka, a movie that neither of us has seen, feel free
Yeah,
to send us a little chat saying, "Hey,
yeah. What's that movie
Wonka out."
about? Was he good?
Okay, okay. So, shall we start the clock here?
Yes.
All right. Okay, folks, we're going to start the clock, which is not going to be visible
You can
to
make it
you,
visible.
but it's going to be very visible to us.
You want to make it visible? You can make it visible.
Well, we want. Well, it's either we can't do that and the outline at the same time.
No, well, actually, but that throws off our whole thing, doesn't it? Every time we do. Okay. Anyway, all right. Starting the clock.
Yeah. All right. All right. We're on the clock, so let's get going here. So, okay. Well, I think we've already kind of come up with some things. So this is a
Well,
female slave. This was a slave to the seed beings.
right.
So
Well, I would think that you have a group of emancipated slaves that, and I mean, I think I mean, and that maybe it's a little cheaty, but before we started at all, I was like, well, what are we still doing with fire? Because you have the air people that use the fire. But if there's a group of fire people that aren't represented in this hidden society UN, that would be like,
Well, well, in the previous one, we had talked about the seed beings had already had a war,
yeah,
and they had actually had a treaty. They had a truce,
right,
like a ceasefire with humans.
yeah.
And I'm curious, is it possible that like escaped flame slaves, um, like maybe some of them escaped to warn the humans or something?
Uh,
I
are you
mean,
saying escaped, or are they no longer like? Because escaped implies that they could be re-enslaved.
well, what if part of the what if part of this is what I'm just thinking of the background here. What if
Right.
they were enslaved? Some of
Mhm.
them managed to escape and get a warning to the humans. That's how the war started. And when they had a ceasefire, part of the truce or the treaty was that they had to emancipate the flame slaves.
Okay.
Or
Oh yeah, like it was a
or
whole Civil War thing that they had
well,
to
the
emancipate
alternative
all
is
the.
this: is that you have some, there's that wait, what's the word? Is the word actually that this is an emancipated?
No, no, that was just my thought of, you know, it was a female slave in a harem was the word.
Because it could be that there are still some slaves and these are escaped. I mean, they could be emancipated because there was definitely slaves that would get
Well,
freed.
my because the my thought process was because there was an alliance of the fire and the wind, so they're mutually beneficial there. But then there's these other fire that are like no, so I don't know.
So wait, the fire that didn't want to be emancipated. What are you saying?
Well, the fire that are emancipated that no, I just because they were slaves, so they were. I assume that they're free now. That's and they are no longer part of that. They don't want to be part of that alliance or are in opposition to that alliance because it doesn't work out for fire people or something to that effect. You know.
Well, so are there? Okay, so this is are fire people? Is all fire actually sentient? Or is it just that there is a race of flame people that were enslaved by the? I mean, this isn't because I'm just thinking if they've been emancipated, then how were the seed people even born? Because they need fire to be born, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I would assume that there's a mutually beneficial thing there. You know, for the fire and the air because they kind of need air for fire, right? So like,
Well, but I mean,
and so
it
and they
it
and
may
they're
be
birthed
that
from the
fire
fire. So
exists outside of I mean not I mean fire doesn't have to be alive. I mean there could still be regular fire and then
I guess
there's
that's
living.
true. That's true. That's what we did with wind, right? So
Well,
I
with
don't know. What
wind,
are the
yeah, with wind.
so we need to get to what the basis of the fire people. What even are they? Are they like energy life forms? Or are
Well, are
they?
they camels?
I guess they could be. It was a
Well, actually, camels are actually we're talking about slaves. What are the
like
they could actually have been slaves as transport.
could they be like
Well,
which would
that's
kind of make
actually goes
sense.
with that
Yeah,
goes with the seed creatures because we were saying that the way that they move is through they harness fire to move.
yeah.
It creates the wind. It creates the wind streams, the jet streams or whatever that allows them to travel.
So we have a fire camel
Well,
creature.
it wouldn't literally be a camel. It would just be a camel in the sense that it's like horseback or just any type of. It's like a steed.
Right, right. I mean, but it's a fire camel.
Sure, doesn't have to look like a camel. I guess is what I'm saying.
but um, okay.
What would you call a generic animal that you put a saddle on? No, they could just be called fire saddles. That would be
Fire
demeaning.
ride the fire,
Right?
fire.
Fire ride. You're the fire riders. Oh, that's actually I kind of like the idea that they're fire riders.
But that would be the the sky beings, because
or
these are
maybe
what
just
they're riding is the fire.
the fire ride
The fire ride.
or fire rides.
Fire rides. Okay. Fire rides. But
Okay.
what is this? I guess we just got there from camel, so there's no camels. Oh,
Oh.
hold on. Hey,
I'm gonna torture you.
hello.
That's how you torture people.
Okay. How's your dance?
Good.
Good.
My muscles are very sore. I did the splits.
Oh, wow.
And then I had to go on those like poles?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I flipped one. Like
Ah.
a straight went on. I flipped it. I
Oh.
inspired Mom because even though my limbs were hurting, I still kept pushing.
All right. Can you close that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we want to give ourselves extra time? Or
Oh, sorry. I should have paused the clock then.
just an extra minute or two. All right, so we've got there are the fire rides. Fire ride. I'm a fire ride. I don't know. Is there a better fire steed? Fire camel just doesn't.
No, fire
Yeah,
camel
okay.
is not in view. Any
What's the other? What's the dromedary?
fire hump?
Huh? Fire what?
Fire hump?
The fire hump.
The fire humps.
Well, that might go with the harem part too.
God. Just looking at camels and what they have.
Well, there's also a dromedary.
Yeah, we could do camelids, the llama, the alpaca, guanaco. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What are the different types of camels? That's what you're looking up.
Yeah. Camel from dromedary, Arabian camel, white Bactrian camel. I don't know.
So what makes them distinct from regular fire? Is it the fire beings are a little bit more cohesive? They don't just disperse when they go into the air. What's the deal? What makes them?
What is a fire being? Is really like they could be like maybe they're like fire lizards or when I say fire lizards, like I'm thinking of like they're real things from what movie was that? Frozen.
Are they literally made of fire, or are they other types of creatures that are on fire?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They could be other types of creatures that just make fire. Because I don't know, unless there's like they could be part of some eternal flame. Yeah.
Well, if they're transporting spores,
Right.
so they have to. I don't know. I like I don't know. It makes more sense to me that they're just kind of free floating fireballs or something.
But then where are they? Like that's where I'm stuck. Is like where are they if they're constantly on fire? Where are they? Like where are they originating from? Where are they staying? Where are they going? Like are they in volcanoes? Because then you've got Earth all involved. Like
Well, what if they're? Yeah, that's right. How do they come about in the first place, boy? Well, I mean, yeah, because like fire dissipates, it burns out, and
yeah.
yeah, it's tricky there. But I mean, it's like you could have shooting stars. What if like shooting stars were oftentimes actually these fireballs?
Oh, what if they came here with the alien spore things?
Oh,
Like they rode them here, like they were me, like they flew in.
so they were enslaved when they came to Earth, and then
Yeah.
they fought for freedom or something.
Yeah. So
So, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So, okay, the fire beings came to Earth with seed beings.
So does that make them then like they are animals that turn on the fire?
No, that makes me think they're. I don't know. I like the not necessarily a fireball, but some sort of fire, just coherent fire.
But then we're back to where do they live? Like
They live in torches.
in torches.
Well, I mean,
What if they live inside of camel humps? That's what's in the hump.
what if they? Okay, well, let's
Oven.
think about it. The seed beings. The seed beings.
Well, they don't. The thing is, like, the seed beings don't have anywhere to keep them because they're in the clouds.
Well,
And they're
I'm just thinking how the seed beings work by, um, they're like diseases. They're like allergies or like cold.
right.
So, like, is it possible? I'm going to use a metaphor here, but when people talk about the fire in your eyes, that sort of thing, what if they somehow go into your eyes? What if they? What if they also? Um, okay, this is a weird idea, but this is all weird. What if they actually live inside people and the people they reside in they give fire breath for a period of time, or maybe it's not even people, but it could be animals. What if they live inside of lizards or something,
Well, that
or camels?
well, what I was thinking is, okay, if what makes them different from other things that the seed beings can control is like maybe seed beings could control them like indefinitely, right? As opposed to being a week or whatever.
Well, yeah, it's kind of a question of like what are their means of enslavement?
Yeah, so I
Um,
mean, because that would make sense to me that it was something that they had more control over. It was a unique
well,
species that they could control.
but the other thing is, this is we said in the seed being one that they're born of fire. Maybe it's
Right.
just they're born of this fire, or maybe this is a fundamental part of the birthing process for them, so they're
Well,
connected in a way.
I would think the fire is, but not necessarily the beings. It's just these beings are
Well, but
like
they're from the same
they've
planet.
got this symbiotic relationship with them where, these beings make fire. We're birthed from fire. We bring air to them, so
Oh,
they
yeah, they're
make
not the
fire.
same species. They're not the same species. It's
No,
not like,
no, but they
but they may be like symbiotic relationship.
actually, that's kind of interesting to have a symbiotic relationship like alien species that are symbiotic but at odds with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, that's why, hence the slavery.
yeah,
Hence
yeah,
slavery.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So I like them being like a physical being that just makes fire. That's
Huh. Okay, okay.
we can make
Um,
them.
so
I
they
don't know.
they can turn off the fire.
Yeah, yeah, but they
Well, they're
generate
dragons. They should be dragons then.
fire breathing camels.
You want them to be fire
They
breathing
don't have to
camels?
be camels, but I don't know. I'm just like they're
Well,
some
something
sort of
humpy.
like non-human shapes. But dragons seem too easy and done there. Um, Stream Boo wants to get us cheap viewers.
Surprise, surprise.
That's in our chat. So,
Yeah,
can we delete things from our chat?
we can delete these too, right?
Let's see. Ooh, add to block list.
Oh, yeah, yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Okay. Um,
I shouldn't have said their name.
I just think camels are, because these are flying creatures. This is all about flying. The camel. I like
Maybe
the
they're
transportation.
okay. So we're gonna if we want to run with all of our Arabian stereotypes, it could be like flying carpets.
That I would totally be fine with that, because it's
Okay,
like a square. So these are flying. So these are flying
I
flame.
I really like the animal aspect of it. That's what
Well,
I
let's make it a different animal, though. I think.
maybe
I
like.
mean,
Can we make them more like what are those things? Not flying squirrels, but they're like flying squirrels. They're
bats.
the sugar bats. What are those things?
I mean, I'm okay with that. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, show me a sugar bat.
Are they? What are they? Sugar babies? No. There's
How are we doing on
something.
time? 26 minutes. Okay, we're doing okay.
Yeah, we still got 26 minutes.
I think a sugar bat would be.
I don't know what they're called.
Well, sugar bats.
Sugar glider.
Oh, sugar glider. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yes,
sure. Oh,
because
they're
they're just
cute.
like they're like I don't know. I look at them and I think like they're like little
I have them on
squares.
screen right
Oh,
now.
there you go, right there. Yeah, they're like little squares, so like the little carpet, but they could be a little bit flatter. And
Oh,
and
but actually, that's actually nice from a name standpoint because Fire Glider is actually better than Fire Ride.
ooh, I like that. Yeah, fire
So,
glider.
okay, Fire Glider, Fire Gliders. Okay.
It's a female fire glider, so we still have that.
Well, are you saying that all the females are Fire Gliders and all the males are something else?
I don't know. I'm just thinking of like all the aspects that we have of it. Female fire glider. Anyway, yeah, anyway. But,
Okay, but they actually are. They're used by the seed beings for transportation and for breeding
yeah.
or birthing or midwifery or something. I don't know. What would you say?
Well,
Facilitating births.
yeah, that's best. Like, 'cause I'm thinking, is it like hatching? Is it almost like an incubator, or is it the
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
combination of the seed beings into whatever they like? It's their curing process or something.
Okay. That's so now at some point they got emancipated or they won their freedom. Emancipated implies that but I mean they were I don't know, I still feel like that I like the idea that they were emancipated as a condition of the treaty
Yeah, I
with
like that.
humans. Emancipated because that just means that the
So they were on the side of the humans.
yeah, they were on the side of the humans. So I'm presuming, and we were talking a little bit about this before, but I'm presuming that some of the flames, the fire gliders escaped, warned the humans, and the humans,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
They
okay,
were spies.
and it doesn't stop their progression, but it does slow them down. I guess getting off of the planet or whatever. So okay, so we got like a basic background of their culture. Now, what's the deal with our? So this specific fire glider
Um,
is teamed up. Is this fire glider teamed up with Zeph? Because it would make sense, like maybe Zeph, because Zeph is the one that fell in love with humans,
right,
and maybe
right.
Zeph has a direct relationship with this fire glider, or maybe maybe it's a Romeo and Juliet type of thing.
I like that. Yes.
Okay.
Star-crossed lovers of the little
Yeah.
fuzzball and the
Yeah.
fire, which is even more probably very taboo because one is like considered a steed, like a man and his horse.
Well, they're kinky that way. So romantic partner of Zeph. Okay. So okay, I like this. It's sort of a Romeo and Juliet
Like
type,
secret lovers.
or secret lover of Zeph. Okay.
Yeah, clandestine romantic partner or something. Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to worry too much about the word. Secret lover of Zeph.
Fun word.
And okay, I think that's pretty cool. So now I'm assuming that the flame creatures probably don't want to leave the planet with
Right,
the
right.
sea
Yeah, they're
beings.
happier
Okay.
here. They have freedom. All the rest of the universe, they're enslaved. So,
Okay, I like this. I like
ooh,
this.
what if like a side of that is that they want to bring the other flame creatures here? Like this is the free, this is the land of the free, right? And but that would basically turn the world into a fireball.
Well, but I would think they don't want to tell the humans this though.
Right,
So that
right.
would be that. You see, to me, that's a twist that you would have, like in your story arc there. Want to bring all the other fire beings
Well, I guess
to Earth.
technically they want to make the other fire beings free,
Yeah,
you know, but that would, could end up
but
bad
this is
for
but if
everybody
it's
else.
true, if the fire beings are enslaved across the cosmos, that could put Earth in a really sticky situation. Anyway, that's good for plot later on.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
let's
yeah,
let's let's set that as a thing. But she's the secret lover of Zeph, and okay, so that's kind of the heroic origin as well, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, that gives you a background and a history of how she got here, you know, because we talked
so,
about them being part of the war. And
well,
I don't know,
powers
are
are
they?
obviously flying,
Yeah.
flying,
Fire generation,
fire,
emission, whatever you want to call that.
fire body. I'll just say fire body, which could be
Like,
under appearance as well.
does she transform into fire? Or is she physically like this?
Oh, I forgot to put down that they're what are they, sugar gliders?
Look, yeah, I mean,
Look like
yeah,
sugar gliders. Was that what they were called?
sugar glider,
Sugar.
yeah.
Yeah, sugar gliders. Okay. What if it's just that all sugar gliders are actually these?
Well, mm, actually, though, that's actually kind of cool because if she's gliding, then they need the wind to fly more, maybe.
Well, but the fire is what creates the draft,
Okay. Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah.
like a sugar glider, and then okay,
Heroic
like a
flaming
burning
sugar
sugar
glider.
glider is the heroic one. Okay. Um, okay, flying flame body. Let's see, fiery, fiery form. Uh, can create has some control over the wind. Then
Yeah, like,
it creates
well, over. Well, I mean, that's just creating draft with
air drafts,
fire.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, still, that's like a
But,
power stunt. That's their
yeah.
whole thing. What if they can shoot? I mean, because like, what if they're able to create tornadoes or something like that? You know?
Oh, like one?
Yeah.
A
What if one
single
was able
one?
to, well, like if your whole shtick is that you're controlling airstreams and drafts, when drafts, then one would think
Hmm.
you maybe you come up with, um,
Well, like, I wasn't thinking each individual one was that, like, powerful, you know?
well, I mean, I
I
guess they
think,
don't have to.
as a,
Are they as small as sugar bats?
that's what I was thinking is that they were still pretty small or, or you're talking
Well,
about a huge, a human.
no. It doesn't have to be that. No. But I mean, it's all I'm saying is that they might have a power stunt where they could shoot like a wind blast at somebody, or like maybe not even, just like a,
Okay, okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
make them like I don't know, like 3, 4 feet tall.
No. We can make
Like,
them as small as they are. I'm just saying, like,
well, I was thinking of them
what if
being
they just whip
small.
around? What if they just, whee, zzz,
Right.
create like a? How are they actually flying? You
Well, I
know?
mean, they turn into a little square, right? That was like the flying carpet
Yeah, they
idea, right?
flat, but I
Yeah.
mean, if they spin around, they could maybe create like a more of a jet stream or something, or they
Yeah, that's
could.
a power stunt, I guess. You got there, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, it's a power. Yeah. So,
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, so they can, yeah, throw it in there. Sure, that's
well,
it.
I don't know. We can worry about that anyway. So creates air drafts, wind bolts.
There you go.
Okay, so weaknesses: water or not, because they don't need to be on fire, I guess. But it's a little bit of a weakness to be damp, I suppose, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, water. That's so. I mean, how do you get away from that when it's fire, right? Um, is there anything else that's like a weakness? What's
Well, I
it?
mean, like, what I would say that they where I guess where does the fire generate from? Is it like a chemical production in their body? Is it? I would say they've got to have some sort of actual space travel, like and reentry and
Oh,
some
you're
kind of
right. They
resistance to
do.
all of that sort of stuff.
Well, they have to be able to create. Oh, interesting. So they're okay. That implies to me, since they can't. I don't think they do. They touch when they're when the seed beings are using them for transportation. Do the seed beings are they actually touching the fire? I was imagining there was like an air current between the fire and the seed beings, so they weren't literally touching the fire. But because usually you would burn particles up, right? So,
Right, right.
but so I'm wondering if that's the case, then what if they're able to contain air? Like, what if they're able to create? They're actually able to hold on to air and um, and carry that with them in space.
Like they have little pockets of
Well, they're like air magnets. Sort of like you have the flame, flame carpet in the space, but
uh-huh.
it's holding on to this bubble of air around.
Right, that it's pulling with it. Yeah,
Yeah, so maybe air bubble.
yeah.
So air bubble.
And are
So
they?
actually, that would mean that humans or something could also do it theoretically.
Yeah,
But that
yeah.
that is part of their propulsion system somehow. I don't know
So,
how.
and actually, I'm thinking because if they're in space, are they like generating just like from plasma? Like, are they like really generating something else, and like they have some sort of nuclear reaction going on inside of them that's creating basically just
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Are they creating their own? Yeah, so they must be. Do we want to use the old Marvel handbook thing? They've got an interdimensional,
well, what
portal.
if it's not interdimensional? I mean, they're made of atoms and they're just breaking them apart internally. Like,
Well, yeah, but I mean, the idea is that you'd have to give
but they're
off. You have to emit it, and then you would eventually dissolve, right?
well. What if they can contain it?
Well,
They've got a little
but it
nuclear
would never.
reactor in them.
But it would never propel you because you got to push
Oh,
off.
well, yeah. It would, yeah, they would. So they would be pushing it, yeah, out, but they could direct it. But they're like, they
Yeah, I
have.
know, but I mean, they'd run out of particles if they don't have a source.
Well, their source is them. Like they,
Are they eating something?
if you have the power of a single atom, right, you could do a lot with that. And
Okay,
they're
let me
made
let
of
me put it to
all
you
these
this way.
atoms, and all they have to do is eat something, and they've replenished that.
Let me put it to you this way. Let's say that I was able to propel myself through the power of pooping.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm like, it's just like shooting me up into the air or whatever.
right,
But eventually, I'm going to run out of poop
right,
because I haven't had anything to eat. So how do they
right.
generate? Do they have to? So
But
what's their way of replenishing the supply?
But look at the amount of power that you can get from a single atom, and you're made of trillions of them. So you would have trillions of poops to power yourself with
Wait, is that
before you would run out of power.
how
That's the
many
idea.
atoms in the in a human body?
Yeah,
I'm curious. Okay, I guess that would be several. Okay, that's a
yeah.
lot.
I'm just like, there's a lot to work with, and if you could generate that kind of power inside of yourself, that would be kind of, I mean, that's super powerful.
Oh, okay. So they
But
the okay. So it's
I mean, I
atomic.
don't know. That
It's
might be too
atomic
powerful.
fire. It's atomic flame.
Yeah,
I guess nobody questions this when you're looking at something like
Sunfire.
the Human Torch or Firestorm in DC. So okay, so atomic flame production. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Weaknesses: water. Skills. Well, the skills. I guess the wind bolt would be a skill.
Okay.
Maybe not all of them can do that. Okay,
Um,
any equipment?
I'm
Well,
just
not
looking
really.
at how big is the sugar glider? Is it small or is it
Let's do small. I like that they're
okay?
cuter that way.
All right. Then
Uh, no equipment then.
a little fanny pack.
Well, since you've got this very cute image of the puffball,
Actually, but then they could carry around the little puffballs in their fanny
how
pack.
does the fanny pack not get burnt up?
I don't know. It doesn't. So yeah, that doesn't work. But they could have some sort of harness thing though. Couldn't they? Just I don't know. I guess they probably wouldn't want to wear that if they were. That was probably like slave wear or something. Yeah.
Um.
Oh, what'd you?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
just moving I
well,
had
the
it in
psychology. Okay.
background, but I'm putting it under psychology. So we're actually very close to being done here. What are we doing
Yeah,
on
we've
time?
got 11 minutes to go.
Boy, I think we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, let's
Um,
go delve a little bit more into. I mean, the heroic psychology is just is just teamed up with Zeph. So it's really
Well, also though, they want freedom for all fire. What are they now? Fire gliders.
fire gliders. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, so teamed up with Zeph, but to save the planet or what? you know,
oh,
I because I'm thinking that Zeph has got a real reason to want to save the planet, and she just wants to team up with Zeph.
well, she doesn't have her own agenda. That
Maybe
is,
she does. What is her agenda?
well,
What is
that's what I was saying. She wants to save the planet too because freedom for this is the land of the free for the
Okay.
fire gliders.
Zeph? Okay. Wants to save the planet to keep fire gliders free.
Fire glider liberty or something. Fire glider free.
Liberated.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So, but let's go into more of the background, like the biography. Was she a slave herself, or is she like the daughter of a slave?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Want to
When did this
talk
war?
about ages here? Like, how long do they live? Are they like eternal flames? I like.
Well, because Zephyr, the seed beings, basically are virtually immortal.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and that's like if you traveled from space and all. So, does she have all of? Has she been through all of that with them? Because then that would make her,
Well, how do they reproduce? That may be one of the things about Earth is because there's fire on Earth. Maybe it's like it's better for them in a lot of ways.
yeah, the oxygen content, all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. So fire tends but if they're doing interstellar travel, then you would think they would last. They would be long lived, right?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Or but we could make it more interesting than that. We could say that they live contiguous lives, but it's different consciousnesses or something like
Doctor Who, like that kind of.
sort of, except that like it's one continuous body, but it's like every few years, like just to like what if their personalities burn out and then they have new personalities every year?
Like what, like a phoenix, kind of like they to ashes and then they return.
Well,
Fire
I mean, maybe, but I was thinking just the idea that their bodies are long lived, but their personalities completely change like once a year or something like that.
That seems too short. Like,
Or-
how does
or
she
however
maintain
long.
it? How would she maintain this relationship?
Maybe
with
they're always maybe 20 years or whatever, but it's like, but they're always kids, They're always young. I don't know.
I like the youth idea. I like
Yeah.
her being young. That
Well,
that-
she could just be but if she's young, then what does that mean? Is that because that could still be like 1,000 years old or something?
Yeah.
Um,
I just, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's easier just to say they're long lived and she's still a teen and
Oh.
her, she's still.
that's definitely easier. So,
Yeah.
okay, is it more interesting? I mean,
No.
because it could be that there's like could be fire hybrid, she's a hybrid of Earth and fire glider species or something.
Well, maybe they're part of their. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of fusion thing actually that they go through for breeding.
Well,
And
what
that would change that would change them, like they for breed, like giving birth to, like, you've reached an age, but like when you give birth you're actually splitting some part of your consciousness, like.
Well, this is the thing. If they're burning every time they shoot their if they're atomic produced flame, I mean that's like it's like a nuclear blast every time
Right.
they burn an album, right? So that's like almost creating a new fire being each time, right?
Well, no, I mean those could be two separate processes though, like,
Well, what's the okay? I want to go back to my original question. Was she a slave, or is she was she a slave before the treaty?
I like
Or
the idea that she was a slave. Yes.
she was a slave, and she's an emancipated slave. So
Yes.
is she one of the people that had run away to warn the humans?
Yeah, I mean, I like that whole idea that that's her background because that
Okay.
gives her a whole backstory that's,
Okay.
you know, that's more involved with everything, in their history.
So the flame slave that escaped to warn the humans, and maybe she escaped with the help of Zeph. Maybe that's part of the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Well, yeah, that she was part of that
Humans.
cabal that brought about the end of the war.
But Zeph, of course, is I think the whole thing with isn't Zeph secretly
Well, he secretly likes the humans.
well that's true, and he secretly has this relationship too. So
Yeah.
this is all okay. Okay. Flame slave that escaped to warn the humans, escaped with the help of Zeph secretly. Okay, that's cool. The heroic origin was just recruited by Greta.
I
I don't know.
don't know.
That's
She
what we're
is
going to
the
do. Okay, recruited by Greta. Now we just need to come up with a name.
well, I don't
What
know.
about our words? Do we have any?
We've got 4.5 minutes.
Odalisk.
Odalisque.
That's kind of an interesting name. What is I'm going to look up what that define Odalisque and see if we can get a better definition because that maybe that a female slave or concubine in a harem, especially one in the seraglio of the Sultan of what the heck's a seraglio? That's kind of a cool word.
Yeah.
The women's apartments in the Ottoman palace, the Turkish or Ottoman palace. What if her name's Saraglia?
That's an ugly name. I don't like it. just
Is it ugly just because it has glee in it?
I just don't like the name. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's see. What was the other word that we had? Judicature. Judy.
Oh, I don't know. Thing about sugar gliders, they can tolerate ambient air temperatures up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
400?
104.
Oh, okay. So that's, well, I can do that. What if we call her Judy Sugar?
Sugar.
Oh, no, this is where we bring the camel. Camilla. Camilla. We haven't really brought in the random image at all.
What
How
was
about
the
she's-
random image? Oh, that's right. It was Willy
The
Wonka. Well, that
stand-
was the slavery. I thought.
Oh, you're right. That's right. Okay, that's true. So I don't know, Camilla. You want to do Camilla?
Or we could bring in something Australian, Outback.
Camilla, mate.
Oh wait, what? Did you know that sugar gliders are Australian?
Oh my God!
That's funny.
Perfect.
Hump.
Her name is Henrietta Hump.
Oh,
Dromedaria.
gliders. So the ones that are in the U.S. are actually a different kind of glider. They're not sugar gliders.
Huh.
Interesting.
Dromedaria. Well, what are some words for fire? Let's see. Synonyms for fire. That's the wrong kind of fire.
Isn't there?
Blaze could be blaze. Ignite, ignitia. I was watching a ABBA video and I think wasn't it Agnetha was the name of one of the blonde girl?
Agnetha. Isn't it
Huh?
Agnetha?
Is it? Oh, it's not Agnetha.
I think it's Agnetha.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be.
Well, but I'm just saying it could be Ignatha. Okay.
I want to. We're down to 1 minute though.
How about plasmas? They're not. Well, what if her name's like? Oh, interesting. But that's like for blood plasma. Clot. Her name could be Clot. Hemoglobin. The hemoglobin.
That sounds familiar. I feel like somebody did that.
I suspect somebody did.
Oh, I was thinking another name for a bushfire. It's just forest fire or wildfire.
Oh, okay. Sounds like
Blazes
most of our
Inferno.
revision time is going to be going towards coming up with a name.
30 seconds. 27. Arson.
What about like tungsten? What's burning? What are words for burning?
Oh, 10 seconds.
Ooh.
All right,
Uh-oh. Well, I guess
that is
we'll
our
do a
40-minute time.
Which means
Our 40-minute regulation
now
time.
to go to the
Lightning round.
we're going to have a 2-minute revision period for each of the categories that we have not filled out, and then a 5-minute revision period behind that. So right basically,
now,
identity,
we're
the
stuck on the
heroic name
names.
and the civilian name is all we haven't done. I think.
That's really it?
Yep.
Well, yeah, we decided no equipment, and so yeah.
Yeah. So that means we're going to have 2 minutes
Wow.
for. Well, why don't we just say 4 minutes to figure out the names?
Well, I want to just. Okay, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
2 minutes. I don't know.
So
2 minutes
let me change
Let's
it.
just stick to 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'll change.
Or you. That's right. You
Stick
can
to 2
control
minutes,
how
okay.
much time, right? So
Yeah.
let's do 4 minutes for the full
Yes,
name stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 minutes for names.
So
Well, I
Gobi
think that she. Well,
Smulders.
here, let's skip.
Gobi. no. Gobi Smulders was the.
Well, I think that she. Well, okay, starting the time now. I think that her name should be something like, because the camels and the Arabic and the Turkish and all that should be that area, or Australian.
Well, okay. You want
That's
to
all.
just. Well, what's God? Australians have weird slang for all sorts of things. Let's see. Australian slang for fire.
Like a Turkish girl name. Oh, actually, for fire.
Bush telly.
Push.
Bush telly is the nickname for the Australian nickname for campfire. Telly Bush. No? Okay, fine. What's Turkish?
Wait, it's playing all. All right.
Oh.
Let's see. We got love, light, Simri, Cemre.
Fire. Ateş.
Ateş. Do you hear this?
Ateş.
Yeah.
Ateş.
Did you
No,
hear
what-
mine?
what was
Simri?
yours?
Cemre, Simri, or you could see how it's pronounced. Actually,
It doesn't have a pronunciation thing there?
no, it's just a list.
Oh, that's fine. I like that. Let's do that. You want to say Simri?
All right.
How do you spell it again?
Cemre.
Okay, Simri. And what's the heroic name? Could just be Fire Glider, I suppose. Or what would Zeph? What would Zeph's? It would, because this is the heroic name is probably Zeph's nickname for her.
So he'd probably have something more romantic,
Or
like,
slutty or sleazy kinky.
I'm thinking they're Romeo Juliet romance,
Okay.
star-crossed, like Star Maker or something. You know, my star wife, or I don't know. You know,
This
you're
could
my
be a
son.
bondage
You're
thing, though,
my,
man. It's just like,
you know, you're my son. You're my star. You're my guiding light. I don't know, some sort of big flowery romantic thing.
but I mean, it could be like a total kinky bondage thing. It's sort of like they got a slave master king.
But it's not like that. No, no. The whole thing would be against that. Like that would like her whole thing would be like, no, not doing that, right? Because she's like been literally a slave, not playing this.
Um, it's not gonna like My Sweet Ride. That would be the
Sugar Ride.
Sugar. Yeah, actually, maybe that's the Sugar Glider is the name.
What about a Sweet Fire or something? I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know. I like the if it were a big
Okay, no,
romantic
fine. Let's
name.
make it more romantic. Okay, so
Yeah.
firelight.
But I'm thinking more bigger. I still think like something in the stars because they were from the stars. They were. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That
that's our
was
4
4
minutes.
minutes? Jeez. Okay, it's time for our
That
5-minute
was 4
revision
minutes.
period.
All right.
So, tell me.
All right. We have 5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes, 11 seconds here.
Okay. Uh, Fireheart.
Like star romance.
How about Flame
Name.
Liquor?
Andromeda, Cassiopeia. I don't know.
Well, I mean, what was a fire?
Aurora, Nova. Nova's so overdone.
Fire nymph. Let's see. Or a fire elemental.
Starbringer. What's another word for star?
Well, what if it's like a like a meteora?
Planetoid. Planetoid. Heavenly body. You talk about her heaven. Like, there's so many, like, romantic things you could do.
Yeah, I don't
with
know
that,
anything about romance. Promethea. Well, that's already been used, I think.
Celestial. Heavenly body.
Dragon Lady.
Can she breathe fire? I want her to be able to breathe fire. That would be cool. A fire-breathing sugar glider. That would be
Okay,
cool.
we're in the, that's fine. That's fine. I'll put it in there. Keep thinking of a
Okay.
name, though.
What if she's like just like Heaven Star, Heaven Fire, Heaven Sun, Heaven Star,
Heaven.
I don't know. Luminary.
I mean, Heaven Star, Heaven Sled.
Heaven Sled.
Well,
I don't think that you want to refer to her as the thing that she was
it's their kink.
when she was an
It's their
object.
kink. Hey, they bonded together during that period, and that was.
But I would think that would be the thing that would turn you off from being.
My dear, you are so sleddy.
I
I'm
think
going
it
to
would be
ride you.
the opposite. Like the other,
Well,
when
what about
people
just
might
heaven?
be there. Well, I think you'd want something more than just heaven. That's where that's
Heaven.
that's not indicative of anything. Heaven comet, heaven blaze, heaven fire, angel fire.
Angel fire, yeah. I don't know. I'm
Well,
sure
that's
that's
already
yeah.
a thing. Yeah. But I like the heaven idea. I don't know. Something about heaven feels good to me.
Heaven.
Heaven fire.
I mean, just
heaven
what if it's just like heaven sent? I mean, that's like the heaven sent. I mean, it's not a name, but it's like just the way referred to. Sort of like Dances with Wolves or something. Heaven sent.
Heaven blaze, heaven wildfire, wild heaven.
Well, there's
heaven...
shooting stars, meteorites. What's the
stars from heaven? Godfire.
Godfire? That doesn't sound romantic.
No, it doesn't. Fire. Divine fire.
Not much of a doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, it's gotten more religious. I like the heavenly light, heavenly light. Like,
I think we should do like a one syllable word before heaven, like light heaven or flame heaven or something blah heaven. Something that rhymes with it even. Sven heaven. Gem heaven. Well, yeah, what if it's like a treasure? What's another word for treasure?
Stern, Estrella. Oh, we're out of time. Duchess Stir. Could be Stir Heaven. Stia Heaven for Romanian.
Awful.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
That's our time.
Well, we're going to have to.
We got.
Why not just heaven?
Can we go heaven fire?
Fine, heaven
fire.
fire. Let's do heaven fire.
Heaven fire. Something, yeah. I don't know. I don't like it. Oh, dang it. I just closed our clock.
Good job, heaven.
I guess we're done with that.
Okay,
anyhow, though.
heaven fire. So, okay, folks. Just to summarize.
We need a better name. I don't think that
Probably not going to stick.
Does us justice. We could do
We
better.
came up with our fire elemental. That's a member of Greta's clandestine elemental task force. And Terrence, you want to give the name?
For which the heroic name is, for now, this moment, is Heaven Fire.
And the civilian name? Simri.
Simri.
So, okay. So, she started out as a flame slave, or a slave flame, a living flame that was enslaved by the seed beings from last week's episode. They came from interstellar travel, and they landed on Earth, and then the flame slaves got emancipated after the war between the humans and the seed beings. And basically, part of the treaty was that they had to be freed, and she was one of the flame beings that escaped with the help of her seed being lover Zeph to tell the humans about the dastardly deeds of the seed beings. And so she kind of set off the war, which ultimately led to freedom for the flame beings.
And she's been recruited as our fourth member of Greta's clandestine group
Elemental
of
Task Force.
Elemental Task Force. Like her, whatever that is. Whatever that name will be, which is hopefully better than Heaven Fire. I'm still stuck on Fire. I'm sorry, Dave.
Anyway, her goal is to she's teamed up with Zeph's because they're in love, but her goal is to save the planet Earth because it seems to be a rare planet where these fire gliders, these flame beings, are able to be free. You want to talk about the powers? Can you read this open?
Sure. We have someone in chat.
Oh, we do.
Yes, and maybe they can help us with any ideas.
Heavenly Body?
Yes, we are trying to name her.
Sorry, we were not paying attention
A
to
better name than Heaven Fire.
I am so lost. What is happening? Well, yeah, sorry. I probably should have told you this a while ago.
But she, so she's teamed up with Zeph, her secret lover, who's a member who's one of the
LX Tech 00 says we look towards dragons, so we could Maybe we could go find
She
like a
is a
famous
fire
dragon
breathing
or something.
sugar glider.
Huh?
She is a fire breathing sugar glider.
Well, no,
so-
I know, but just from a naming standpoint, maybe. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, but why don't you describe the powers? We're doing a summary here, so.
Oh, we're on to power. Sorry. So she can fly. She has a fire form. She creates air drafts. You don't have the nuclear
Yeah, I do.
fire in here. Oh, atomic flame production. There it is. She creates a little air bubble by which other creatures can fly with her through space, and she has fire breathing. And she should have some resistance to all of these things that could destroy.
So yeah, they have the powers, but doesn't have any resistance to. Yeah, okay. So
I'm just
fire
saying.
resistance,
You
if
don't
you want me to
listen.
put it there, fine. No,
Well,
that
you
should be
put
a
that as
power, not a
weakness.
weakness. Sorry, got in the wrong spot. I think it goes without saying.
And
But
her
okay.
weakness, she has a weakness to water, but I guess it's not a strong weakness because it's just something that she has to fight.
One of
with
her
fire.
skills is shooting wind bolts.
She has no equipment, and she looks like a sugar glider, or in her heroic form, a flaming sugar glider. Or
Okay,
burning
we
sugar.
already went into the background, but this is the world building aspect. So yeah, so that's our character this week. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank
Sorry
you,
that we
Tom.
didn't see your chat earlier. We would have. Do you have any last minute questions? Assuming you're actually still there, we may not even be there. Oh, all right. Well, I guess it's time for us to sign out. Let me go back to our
Well,
script
we'll
here.
be back with a podcast more than likely. So,
Well, so that's it for this episode. But we want to hear from you, Truth Conceivers. What did we get right? What did we get wrong?
what did we get wrong? Leave us a comment or email us at heroicpod@gmail.com, and we'll respond to your feedback in upcoming episodes.
Don't forget to show your support. Share, subscribe, or just hit that like button.
It all helps.
And that's a wrap.
Keep on hero smithing, true conceivers.
We'll see you next time on the Heroic Origins Plotcast when we work out the visual
Okay.
design. No. We'll see you next time on the Heroic Origins Plotcast where we come up with a 6-issue story arc involving these characters. Thop! Thop.
Ah.
All right. I guess I got to cue the outro.
Yeah.
Here we go.